What's up guys, my name is Ace Cosplay and this is the Q&A video. First one that I said I'd do, and I'm doing it. And yes, before anyone says, I've had a haircut and it's more Ace Ventura than what I was sort of looking for, but I don't know what's... Just live with it, it's fine. It's going to do its own thing during this video, but sorry. So before I went to LFCC, I asked you guys if there's any questions you wanted to ask me. And a few of you did, so I'm going to go through them all, even the silly ones, because it's fun like that. And I will see what you guys want to know, and if this gets kind of popular, with nearly 12,000 people now. Every time I do a video I think it's gone up by like 1,000. What is going on? How am I popular? I don't understand this. If we get enough people wanting to ask me silly things, then I might do more of these. I don't plan ahead with YouTube, but it's just videos happen. I'm doing it in order of what comes up on my laptop first, so we're going through the YouTube questions, and this one is from Momo Productions. Ace, do you like Star Wars Rebels, and where do you get your costumes from? I have not seen Star Wars Rebels yet. I missed the first half of the first season when I was actually aware that it was on television. I was like, so I don't want to start watching it halfway through a first season. The first season is repeating itself on Disney XD now, and I didn't realise, and I've caught it at episode 5, so I'm going to try and find up to episode 4 online, and then watch the rest, because I've heard Darth Vader is amazing in this, and the Stormtroopers look awesome, and pretty much everyone I've spoken to loves Star Wars Rebels, so I'm pretty sure that I'm just going to be drooling over it when I get round to actually watching it. So I'm going to preemptively say I love Star Wars Rebels, even though I haven't watched it yet. And my costumes come from many a different place. The Stormtrooper armours, you can't see the one I'm pointing to there, but there's one there, and my main one here. This is my new favourite. I'm sorry. These two were got off the internet. That guy over there was from eBay. This one is the Shepton Designs Studios armour from Amazon. This one was just one that a random guy made, and he didn't want it anymore, so he sold it on eBay, and I was lucky enough to get it. But you can find Stormtrooper armours on lots of different sites and stuff like that. But the other ones, the only other one I bought was my David Tennant 10th Doctor costume, and the rest of them I kind of put together myself. I've even made it completely from scratch. Dr. Octopus, apart from the clothing, was done completely from scratch, because you just can't buy an Alfred Molina Spider-Man 2 2004 version Dr. Octopus costume. It's a bit too specific. You can't even buy a normal Dr. Octopus costume. But yeah, so a lot of it is either put together from stuff that I found, or made entirely from scratch, or entirely bought on the internet, because it doesn't matter what you do in cosplay. If you just do that, you just have a costume, you have fun with it. So there you go. There's a long answer for a short question. This is going to take a while. Can I ask you, what are the pros and cons when you get dressed up? And what about when you go to the loo? Does it all have to come off? Have you ever fallen asleep in your Stormtrooper outfit? I guess pros and cons change depending what costume you're wearing. For people who do more plainclothes costumes like suits and stuff like that, I guess there aren't really pros and cons to it. If you have pockets, that's great, minimal heat, but the pros and cons for my costumes are normally pros, you look badass. Cons, okay, let's just focusing on this one. Pros, for my favourite character from Star Wars, the Nameless Face, the Stormtroopers, I love. Pros, you look really, really cool, and it's just a really fun character to actually sort of play. That's about it for pros. Cons, you can't see, you can't hear very well, you have limited movement, it gets very hot in enclosed spaces, it pinches in places you don't want it to pinch. It's easier if you're taller, because it evens out a bit more, but when you're my size, the armour overlaps and pinches. And I've still got bruises on my legs from LFCC where my leg armour digs in a little bit. I mean, I fix it to the best of my ability now, but it's still a bit but I can't get it any better than that, because I'm small. Well, I'm a normal sized human, but I'm small for a Stormtrooper. But yeah, it depends on the costume really. a lot of costumes, again the Doc Ock one, obviously I have good visibility on that, but my movement's limited, it's incredibly heavy, I get very sore shoulders and probably not very good for my spine, considering it weighs about as much as I do. So yeah, it really depends on the costume. And for stuff like Stormtrooper, I can't do a lot of things myself. I don't have pockets where I can put phone and money and things. I have to have spotters because I can't see what I'm doing. So there you go, that's some. When I go to the loo, yes, it all has to come off for me because I'm not a man, I cannot stand pee. The whole thing has to come off and I have to put it all back on, so I try to go to the toilet right before I get changed. And with it being so hot in convention centres, I do drink a lot of water, but it's so hot you sweat it out, so then I don't pee until 6 hours later when it's at the end of the day. And at the last convention, Michael J. Fox nearly saw me in my underpants. There's a little tangent. I was getting changed out of my Stormtrooper armour in the, if anyone went to LFCC, upstairs in the little cosplay community section. There was a little stall and a sort of little alleyway with an alcove and a door. And I went up there because all the toilets had flooded downstairs. They're completely backed up, everything had flooded. The only toilet that was available was upstairs and the queue was like so long. So I went this is again a con because you have to find places to actually get changed if you're not official and don't have official changing rooms. Which some groups do, which is cool for them, but if you mean you go on your own, you don't have that. So yeah, I was getting out of the armour, and then I had to take off my undersuit and put my normal clothes back on, so I was hiding in this little alcove, and I was taking off my armour, and I was like going to take off my undersuit, and then you just hear, "Don't step back," and about 4 bodyguards walk past me, and in between them is Michael J. Fox, obviously going through the door, so he doesn't have to walk through the whole convention centre to get back to his autograph section. I was like, if he had been like a minute, maybe even 30 seconds later, Michael J. Fox would have seen me in my underpants. Admittedly, that would be a hilarious story. A hilarious story. But, oh, that was very close. And no, I've never fallen asleep in my Stormtrooper armour. Been tempted the times where, you know, I've just sat down in it and been able to get back up again. But no, it's not the most comfortable thing to sleep in, so you can't really fall asleep in it. I am rambling a lot. I'm going to try and run through these questions a little bit quicker. I've already done 2. This question from Valentino Zoboli. I apologise if I have pronounced that wrong, and I apologise to anybody else whose name I pronounce wrong. I'm bad at things like that. What do you think of the new Star Wars Stormtrooper armour? Personally, I love it, and I'd love to get some of it to wear. Yeah, I really like it. Not as good as this. I'm biased. It's not as good as that, but it's nice. I like the shape. It looks a heck of a lot more comfortable, to be quite honest. The helmet looks badass. I like the guns. And of course, if you follow my videos, you know I am in love with Captain Phasma, the female, badass, clone stormtrooper with a cape and a massive gun. Yes, and I put out on Twitter, I think by December, my life ambition is going to be Gwendolyn Christie, who's the actress who plays Captain Phasma, and I tagged her in that tweet, and she saw it and she favorited it, so Senpai has noticed me. Captain Phasma knows I exist. I love you. Please sign my helmet if you're at Celebration Europe next year. Yeah, I like it, and I would like to get some of that armour to wear. I don't know if I'm going to order the Innova set or not, or if I'm going to make mine from scratch, because we're going to find out. What made you decide to start cosplaying as a Stormtrooper? I've gone through this before in a couple of previous videos, and it was because I saw the 501st Legion, like loads of videos on them before I even knew that they were the 501st Legion. I just saw videos of people dressing up as Stormtroopers and then having a great time and bringing smiles to other people, and I always liked Stormtroopers. They just look cool. They're the first bad guys you see in the Star Wars saga. They come busting in through the door and massacre rebels, and they just look wicked. I love them. I love them, and I saw all the videos of, hey, what, people can actually get suits of these and wear them out, and then I was like, yes! This is my life goal, and I've not looked back since. So yeah, it was. I saw other people did it, and I was like, I need to do that with my life, and I did it, and I'm still doing it, and nothing else makes me happier. I love it to pieces. Red 7 standing by (brackets Gregory Xiao? I don't know. If you were to own a lightsaber, what colour would your saber be and why? Yellow. For the pure and simple fact that not many people have yellow. I mean, I'm a Sith, so naturally, if I had a lightsaber, it would be red. But everyone wanted to go to a red lightsaber, and I'd want a yellow one. So in Knights of the Old Republic, the Star Wars video game that I also love along with Battlefront 2 and Republic Commando, there is an option that it's for Jedi Sentinel. I think it's mainly if you use knowledge over attack stuff, because it's an RPG and whatnot. And I just chose it purely because I wanted a yellow lightsaber. Charlie Snape asks, favourite prequel Sith, Dooku, Maul or Vader? Also, enjoy LFCC. Thank you, I did. It's flipping hot, but I loved it. I don't count Vader as a prequel Sith, even though, yes, I know he was in the prequels. Vader, to me, my perfection sort of view of Vader is he only exists in the original trilogy. Vader does not exist in the prequels as far as I'm concerned, because the prequels ruins him as a bad guy, and he is my number one bad guy. So he's my number one bad guy of anything ever, overall. I'm sorry, Alfred Leader. Sorry, you're number 2. You ain't getting to number 1 unless you fight to the death with Vader. Oh my god, I'd so pay money to see Dr. Octopus fight to death with Vader, even though I'm pretty sure Vader would win, because the lightsaber just... Anyway, yeah. But favourite prequel Sith? Maul, I think, would have to win. Even though he got like barely any screen time, no lines. I did see Ray Park at LFCC, but I forgot to go back and get an autograph because it was so busy. But I was like, that's Darth Maul. So technically I have met Darth Maul. But yeah, he was a badass, and if anybody watches Star Wars Clone Wars, the animated series, I stopped watching it a little while, but I started watching clips of it on YouTube. Darth Maul becomes amazingly badass, even more so than the film, so he is definitely my favourite prequel Sith. Kenzie's Creative Corner asks, how old were you when you bought the Stormtrooper armour or started wearing it? I was about 13... going on 14 years old. My birthday is in the middle of the year, so it's very hard to remember which side of the year I do things on, so I was either 13 or 14. So I was very, very lucky because I got it really, really young, but then I grew into it, and I think I've matured along with it. Sounded odd, didn't need to know that bit, but yeah, I was about 13, 14 years old when I started doing this. And now I'm 21. I've been doing it for a long time. I ain't ever gonna go back. Marcel Stefan, is it Stefan? Marcel Stefan, are you part of the 501st Legion? If so, have you done any charity work, and would you be willing to talk about it? If not, would you join, and which regiment? I'm willing to join so badly, thanks for your epic videos. Thank you very much. No, I'm not part of the 501st Legion. If you'd like to know why, there's a video you should probably check out called FAO, for attention of 501st Legion UK Garrison Commanding Officer, where you will see the reasons why I'm not a member. I have explained it before in other videos, but that will sort of tell you why and things like that. I've not done any explicit charity work in costumes. I haven't gone out specifically for a charity. But I have done a little bit of fundraising at once at school, and I got my armour. I went and try to raise money for charity during the sports day there. Some events that I've gone to have been purely to raise money for charity, and I will be doing an event later this year, fingers crossed, which is to raise money for, I think it might be Great Ormond Street Hospital. We might have changed it, I don't know, but it's a charity event, so I do sort of little bits here and there, but my cosplay is mainly for fun rather than charity, but I would like to do some more charity stuff in the future. So yeah, I'm not joining the 501st, not joining regiment, but I started my own costume group. We are the Imperial Outlanders. We have, as of recording, I think we have like 79 members, and we're getting a website and stuff set up, so hopefully we can do some cool stuff with that. So I'm not going to be part of the 501st Legion, but I've set up my own costume group, and I want it to be a cool, good thing for everybody around the world to sort of enjoy and be part of. Do you watch Doctor Who? And if so, what is your favourite Doctor and monster? Now, I don't know if you can tell from this angle, but David Tennant, Christopher Eccleston, Paul McGann, Sylvester McCoy, Sophie Aldred, Tom Baker, Brigadier, John Levine. A few Doctor Who autographs there with a few across the other side of the room. But yes, big fan of Doctor Who and have been since its return. Oh, my phone's on. in 2005. My favourite Doctor is Sylvester McCoy, which is a very odd one, I know, and not a lot of people say that. I didn't used to like him actually. I thought that he was just a Doctor that did pratfalls and wasn't very good, but I started watching his episodes because Ace is my favourite companion, hence the name. And he's actually got quite a dark side to him. He's a very fatherly figure towards Ace and very loving and caring, but also knows when to be stern and when to be harsh, and it can be very, very dark. And you can see where they were trying to take the series before it got cancelled back in '89. So it's a bit heartbreaking he didn't get to sort of continue that, and his legacy may have been just like sort of founded on his first episode where he essentially just did pratfalls with Irani and bad monsters and bad writing and Mel the Screamy Companion. But yeah, so Silver's my favourite Doctor, and my favourite monsters are the Sea Devils. I love the Sea Devils. They're awesome. They need to bring the Sea Devils back, and I don't want an updated design like you did with the Silurians. Classic Sea Devils. And my second favourite are the Cheetah People, who I have also cosplayed as, because they're cool. Are you in university? If so, what's your major? No, I'm not in university. I really didn't want to do education for like another 4 years of my life. I was like, as soon as I got out of college, hello!
Are you doing floor?
I am. Oh. Oh!
Okay, I didn't think so.
Siri, I'm not talking to you right now. I thought it's a feature. If you have an iPhone that has Siri on charge and you say, "Hey Siri," it switches itself on. No, I didn't mean for you to. Yes, you. No, switch off. As I was saying, I didn't really want to spend another 4 years stuck in a classroom. When I got out of college, I studied film, media and communication culture at college. I went straight out and tried to get a job. Because during college is when my cosplay thing kind of took off, and I found out I wasn't enjoying the sort of theoretical aspects of film and stuff as much as I thought I would, and I was sort of moving more into being like, you know, making kind of person, as in making props and stuff. So I didn't do anything like that back in college, and I haven't taken it to university. One of my friends does costume design in university, and they're not entirely happy with how their course is going, and I find educational stuff isn't always what you're looking for. I want to get out and actually get some life experience and start building up on stuff my own way. And so yeah, no uni for me, and no degrees, no majors for me. I'm not a smarty pants. But also congrats to my buddy Raz on recently graduating university. He is a video games student. If you get a job in like cool video game companies, can I come do voiceover work for you or motion capture? Because that would be fun. I want to do that, please. Thank you. I love you. Kelly Staver. Ace, how do you feel about the new Sith Lord and the North? My tongue is going again. How do I feel about the new Sith Lord and the new Stormtrooper design? Already mentioned the Stormtrooper design. What is wrong with me today? Right. We've already talked about the new Stormtrooper design. The new Sith Lord, who goes by the name of Kylo Ren. Yeah, I like him. And I like the three-pronged lightsaber which has the little crossguard. I think that's cool, and I kind of want to own one. I don't know if Saberforge do one or not. I've been looking at Saberforge on Etsy and I really want one of their lightsabers. But yeah, I like him. Kylo Ren is pretty damn cool. Eggman Studios asks, "Hi, I really want to set a Stormtrooper armour. Can you tell me which is the best to go for, and how much in the way of alterations do they need to look and fit the best?" Hello there. The best to go for, it really depends on your opinion. Some people like different styles of armour, some people don't. Also, it depends on your price range. Some sites can be offering Stormtrooper armour that costs upwards of like $1,000, so probably about £800, maybe even £1,000, depending on the site you go on. But judging by the new pictures I've seen, if you have the money, possibly wait for the Anova set. That Stormtrooper armour looks amazing. See, it's not released yet, so I can't give you a rundown of details and stuff for that. But yeah, it looks awesome. The Anova set looks like the one you want to get. I've just bought my Shepperton set. I want the Nova set. It's money. And I need to buy another mannequin. And I don't have space for it. It was a pain in the ass getting this one in here. In terms of modifications, what I did to mine, there will be a video on modifications that I did on my armour. But it depends on how tall you are. If you're taller, it will be a case of just adjusting straps and stuff, because you can't really do much if you're that bit tall for the armour. If you're a little bit shorter, then it'll be a case of like dremeling out certain sections of it, like I had to do the backs of the knees for mine. I shortened some of the arm pieces, I shortened around the sides for the stomach plate and the kidney plate, I shortened the belt. It's just all kind of a case of figuring out how it fits you, because, you know, armour like this is standard size. It's all made exactly the same. People aren't standard size. It's you're gonna have to like pad certain bits out, adjust the straps, adjust the size. It really depends on your body type. I can't specify lots of stuff, but if you're taller, you won't have to do as much. If you're shorter, it's going to be a fair bit of work, but then once you sort of get used to it, you'll find out how it fits you best, and that's the way to go about it. Just experiment, but then be careful if you're experimenting on a £1,000 suit. Bailey Couturier, is that your name? Hi, where did you buy your Stormtrooper armor at? Please answer! Amazon, eBay. And the Spivey, is your suit a zombie trooper? No. Just because he's dirty doesn't make him a zombie trooper. If it was a zombie trooper, he would look a heck of a lot more dirty than this. I would have bits torn off, like some gore showing through to like show like the armour's made up of layers. It's not, it's actually from plastic. I'd have like a bit cut out of the helmet, like blood everywhere, like latex for like rotting flesh. So no, this is just battle weathering. This is just your bog standard weathered Stormtrooper with some custom bits on it, because it's my armour and I'm going to customise it. And the last question from YouTube is from MC Madman51 Canada. Hi Ace, maybe you've been asked this a million times before, but what's your favourite moment or scene from the movies? Cheers, from Canada. You know what, I don't know. My favourite moment or scene from the movies. And I've not actually been asked that a million times. That's actually a very rare question. You know the one I've been asked a million times? Aren't you too short for a Stormtrooper? I heard that 10 times at LFCC. 10 times from 10 different people. And I've heard that for the past 7 years. A couple of times a month on YouTube. It drives me mad. There's one thing I could erase from the films, it'd be that line. Okay, I guess my favourite moment would probably have to be like the Hoth battle in Empire, along with maybe the Bespin lightsaber fight, and probably the end of Return of the Jedi, which would be Vader throwing the Emperor down the pit, which the Blu-ray release version absolutely ruined, and I am livid over that. It's the one thing I am actually angry over with that. I pray for the day where we get Blu-ray releases of the original theatrical versions unedited, because all I have to watch at the moment is the Blu-ray versions, because one of my friends has currently got the original trilogy, my box set, the original trilogy theatrical editions, because she wanted to get into Star Wars, and I said you have to watch it in release order. Susie, I should finish with my box set. Yeah, I gave it to you about a year ago. Please, I can't keep watching the Blu-ray versions. It's driving me insane. Okay, for anybody who doesn't know what I'm going on about, the changes they made in the Blu-ray version, I guess if you're interested, go check out Hello Greedo's videos on the all the Blu-ray changes, but the big one was when Darth Vader lifts up the Emperor and throws him down the pit. In the Blu-ray version, George Lucas thought it was the most amazing idea to ruin the beautiful cinematography and the powerfulness of the music and just the whole visual element of the film, when the camera slowly goes in on Vader's mask and you see the torment behind the mask. He's looking back between the Emperor and between his son, and like the choir build up, and you know something epic's about to happen. There's a battle going on inside him. It's an amazing bit of cinema, that bit. And George Lucas decided it'd be a great idea for Vader to look at the Emperor and go, no, then look back and pick up the Emperor and go, no, and then throw him down the pit. I have a hard time not throwing something at the television when that happens. You've just ruined a scene that needed no dialogue, especially dialogue that is so cringeworthy. That was the thing people still take the piss out of Revenge of the Sith for. Vader just busting out of the operation table and going, no! That's an internet meme. You've ruined one of the... I'm gonna move on before I just mentally scar myself with this. Okay, so now it's time for the couple of Facebook questions that are on here. First one is from Richard Measure. I don't know how to pronounce your surname, I'm sorry. Did your former boss ever get into your old armour? No, he hasn't yet, and I know he'll be watching this, and I keep trying to persuade him to, but it's obviously not working. Maybe you guys can persuade him to. If you want me to embarrass my peers and want me to film it, put in the comments down below. Say, Mark, get in that damn armour. And here's a question from a Mark. What do you think of the reboot epidemic taking over the film industry? No, I don't like it. No. Rebooting, it's not a cool thing. I mean, if you're like doing sequels and you're continuing on stuff, and yeah, that's alright, but rebooting, like, the reboots recently been awful. Amazing Spider-Man, awful. Robocop, awful. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, awful. No, stop. So no, I don't like the reboot thing. It can be done and it can be done well, but Hollywood's just all about that money. Grab that money. I mean, the recent Fantastic Four film is definitely something to go by, considering it's got like a 10% on, like, Rotten Tomatoes or something. Rotten Tomatoes. Not American. So yeah, it's worse than, like, or nearly as bad as Avatar Airbender thingy. But yeah, it's widely regarded as awful. So, yeah, reboots aren't good. Dan Gillespie, who is also the Alfred Stormtrooper. So if you see a Stormtrooper near like Aberdeenshire wandering about in a kilt, that's my friend. He says, did you hear anything more from the UK Garrison leader? Yes, I did. So to quickly give some context to anybody who doesn't know, I said in a video where, like, I said, hey look, I've got a costume group. I said I'm not part of the 501st. The reason I started a costume group is it's inspired by some bad interactions that I've had with the 501st, where they were kind of rude to another one of my friends who I had met at the convention and stuff like that. And the UK Garrison leader got in contact with me saying, you know, what I'm saying is like attacking them and stuff like that. So I went and made a video, which you can see on YouTube, as I previously mentioned. It's for the attention of 501st UKG commanding officer, stating like over the years things that have happened to me about like bad interaction with the 501st that have come from them on to me, and how I was such a huge fan of the group, and I couldn't wait to be 18 to join the group, and I knew like everything about them, and I just wanted to be part of that big Star Wars family, and now I just want to avoid it as much as possible. It's like, but yeah, if you want to see his response to that video, check out the comments on that video. His name is Gary Hales, and basically quite passive aggressive. Wasn't taking anything I said seriously, in my opinion. Just another reason I guess I don't want to be part of the group, but you can read the comments and judge for yourself. Tristan Eliot Palmer asks, if the speed of an orange zebra is equal to how many ants it takes to be a swan, why do clocks work like potatoes? 42. Ed Jones, favourite costume you've made? One I made from scratch? Dr. Octopus. Hells yeah! Second favourite bad guy, someone that I've had a massive crush on since I was like 9. Kind of embarrassing to admit that now, but when you're like young and they're younger, and I have a real soft spot for bad guys. Like, if you're a good bad guy, it hurts. But recently I've been going more towards the good guy side. The bad guys need to up their game. I fall in love with Agent Coulson. And Harry from Kingsman Secret Service. I think it's mainly the suit. It's the suit factor. I like a guy in a good fitting suit. If Dr. Octopus also had a suit, perfect human being right there, love it. But yeah, Doc Ock is my favourite costume I've made, because it's really, I felt so proud making that, and I still feel very proud having made it. And I love wearing it even though it seriously hurts, to the point where I can't actually move my arms the next day. I get out of bed and it's physical agony. I'm not even exaggerating. I move like one shoulder and it's, okay. I'm just going to use my feet to pick up things all day, because if I move my shoulders it burns. Which is why you should always check the weight of the materials you're using to make your costume when it's all together before you actually, maybe make the costume. But it's a whole trial and error thing. I know next time I'm going to make it out of different stuff, make it lighter, but also make it more detailed. It's going to have a revamp. I'm going to get like motors in it, proper detailing on the claws. Trouble is, all that's going to make it heavier. I am not built to carry two of me on my back in terms of body weight. So, that'll be fun if that ever happens. Alright, we got 3 questions here from Adam Shaw. Do crabs think we walk sideways? Possibly. Or maybe they're aware they walk sideways because their eyes are here and they walk that way. They're just like, yep. Maybe they think we walk normally. I don't know. I am not a crab, I cannot tell you that. If I'm dressed as a Cylon, can I decapitate people I don't like? I would counter that by saying, if I'm dressed as a Stormtrooper, can I shoot people I don't like? Yeah, saying that doesn't sound good, does it? No. Cosplay is not consent. Also doesn't mean you can murder. Although there are probably some people I can think of that do deserve it. No, I'm not like that. And what's a nice, artistic, attractive girl like you doing in a group with us lot in it? David, I think that's a question for you. He also thinks you're a girl. Because I really don't see anybody else attractive in this room. And we have our last couple of questions from Jordan Griffiths on Twitter at DevilDante2012. This is for your Q&A video. How come you make your armour weathered down to rusty? Looks like you've been in a lot of wars. Well, it's not rusty. If it was rusty, it'd be more of a copper colour. Also, it's plastic. Plastic doesn't rust, but in the Star Wars universe, I think it's Imperium? Something like that. I can't remember the exact word that it's supposed to be made out of, so it's not metal. It's supposed to deflect blaster bolts at an angle, even though we know that doesn't work. But yeah, it's like black grey dirt. I weathered it down because I've been a shiny for many years, and I thought it's probably time to weather it up and show I've been in a few battles. And also with Stormtrooper armour, because everything's white, sometimes you don't get like the detail of all the different bits come through. So just adding some weathering into the grooves, it just really brings it out, and I'm very glad I've done it. Also, major props to Joey for giving me the tips on how to do this. But yeah, it looks better, and it just kind of brings the costume into more sort of like a realistic kind of thing. And it also means if it gets scuffed, I don't have to clean it between conventions, which is always good, because keeping incredibly white shiny armour a thing is very, very difficult, especially when breakages and scuffs occur. And my hair is trying to escape. No! Stay there. P.S. What events are you attending for the rest of this year? You are one busy Star Wars fangirl. Oh, of course I am. The fun don't stop here at Ace Cosplay. Unless I fall asleep, which is often. In which case, yeah. The events I'm attending for the rest of this year, I've only got one convention planned at the moment, which is the October MCM Expo, which will be the first unofficial meet of the Imperial Outlanders, so it's going to be for the UK people, and I know there's only a few of us going, but it'll be nice to, meet the other people from the group. Then the first big meet for the Imperial Outlanders will be Celebration Europe next year, where people coming from all over the world to London to come to the biggest Star Wars convention in the world. A lot of the Outlanders are going to be there, so hopefully we'll have quite a few people there to actually meet, which would be great. But the only other event that I am attending will be the London New Year's Day Parade. So technically that doesn't count as this year because it's going to be the beginning of next year, but it's going to creep up on me anyway. So yeah, I'm going to be parading in this thing. I've never done a parade before, especially not in armour. It's going to be interesting. But yeah, that one's going to be for charity. There's a group called, I think it's Heroes for Hire. Because I've missed out on it for the past 4 years through either work commitments. I had surgery in hospital 1 year, and I had not long come out of surgery, so I couldn't walk in a parade. Or I was just like really, I always happen to get ill over Christmas, which sucks, especially when you end up in hospital having surgery. But yes, so I ended up missing it for the past 4 years from either commitments or other stuff, so it'd be nice to actually finally do the London's New Year's Day Parade. It doesn't get properly televised like parades over in America do, which sucks. It does get televised over here on like the Information TV channel, and the production values are awful. Half like the beginning of the parade route, watching it on TV, that it was just through, you see obviously a feed coming from a camera which was on the floor, the cameraman left there and just like wandered off and had lunch or something. That professional. But yeah, it should be a good laugh, and it's all for charity. I might freeze my arse off in my armour because, you know, not good heat values in there, but we shall see. Also, the last question is, have you decided to pre-order the new Star Wars Battlefront game for the Jakku DLC? No, pre-ordering games is a bad idea. I'm going to turn into Total Biscuit here. I do follow a lot of gaming YouTubers and the games industry, but I don't talk about it a lot because it's one of those things that's like the next level up of nerdy. As they always just think, pre-order culture, and DLC, and video games, and Steam Greenlight, and things like this. But yeah, pre-ordering is not good. I'm not going to give EA any of my monies until I am satisfied that this product is at least worth some of my time. It's like I waited for the Amazing Spider-Man 2 game to get reduced in price because I knew it was a bunch of poo, like the film itself, but it's still got some fairly fun missions in it, so I thought, you know what, it's a little jolly, but I'm going to wait till it's like a tenner before I get it. And so yeah, pre-order for DLC, no, I have no interest in that. I have no interest in DLC in the first place. I'm not holding my breath for this new Battlefront actually being any good. Wait till I play it first, so yes. I'm hoping it's good, but I don't trust EA, and I don't really trust DICE either. So, DICE are the ones making it, EA are the ones publishing it. No. Also, for anybody that's going to ask, no, I'm not going to do a reaction for the new Star Wars trailer that I've heard has come out. I will not be doing a reaction for any promo material that's come out. I will not be doing a reaction to behind the scenes that came out at San Diego Comic Con because I do not want to watch it. I don't want to see any more Star Wars stuff until the film comes out, because if I'm seeing a lot of all this background stuff, essentially you're watching the film before you watch the film. There is no point. I've seen the little snippets. I'm still hyped from the last one. It still makes me cry every time I watch it. But I do not want to see any more. So don't ask for it, because some people already have. And no, I'm not going to do it. The next thing that I watch of Star Wars will be the film itself, unless I watch the original trilogy. I have to watch it on Blu-ray. Oh god, the changes hurt me. They hurt my heart. Susie, can I please have my DVDs back? Please watch them so I can have them back. It's driving me crazy. Susie! Okay, that's it for the bunch of random questions. Sorry if I rambled on a lot. I have a habit of doing that if I don't script certain stuff. But yeah, if there's still any questions you want to ask me, again, feel free to post a comment down in the YouTube comments. on my Facebook, which is Ace Cosplay and Artworks, on my Twitter, which is Ace Cosplay, the Imperial Outlanders, my costume group, if anybody who has a Star Wars costume, who is currently making a Star Wars costume or is trying to get advice on getting a Star Wars costume. It's for people all over the world, not just for the UK members. You can come onto our Facebook group, Imperial Outlanders, send a drawing request, we'll accept you in. There's no like screening for costumes and stuff or whatever. It's just a big group for everybody to make friends and have fun. And eventually we are working on getting a website up and running actually to make this thing official. We want to make the Outlanders a big proper group, make it successful, so all inclusive, everybody's allowed in. That's what I want out of it. So if anybody's looking to be a part of that, please come over to us and come join, and I'll keep you up to date on anything else that's happening. Yeah, apart from that, I'll see you guys in the next time.